Welcome to another episode of the Coffee Conversation Show powered by the Emerging India Forum, TIF, and a tech partner, Prime Infotech Solution. Series is The Emerging Lawyer, theme is Crafting Compliance with Integrity and Insight. We have today with us Atul Juvle, senior legal professional, over 40 years of experience in legal, compliance, and governance. Right now, he is managing partner at AP2 Legal Consulting LLP, and he has various experience as general counsel, board member, senior governance, risk and compliance, GRC advisor. So, friends, this will be a lovely conversation because he has worked in corporate legal also in various companies like OTIS, HDFC-Life, Godrej Agrovet, Tata International, Schindler India. So we'll get to know about compliance, data privacy, ethical challenges across different industries, and it will be a lovely conversation having with a senior professional having over 40 years of experience. We are now at AWFI's co-working space, and on a Saturday afternoon, we are having this lovely conversation. So welcome Atul to today's coffee conversation.
Thank you, Amirji. Good afternoon, everybody who was on the call, and I would happy about this opportunity. Thank you very much. And as he has already given my introduction, so I think we can start discussion.
Yeah. So Atul, I'll just explain you. You must be aware of two formats, but there is one more surprise. There is a rapid fire round. जहाँ पे आपको you have to be witty, fun, and quick. So उसके लिए आपको एक gift भी मिलेगा.
Thank you.
So friends, I'm Lion Amir Virani, host of Coffee Conversation and legal tech evangelist at Prime Infotech Solution and author of 15 books. So my first question for professional journey round, Atulji, what motivated you to pursue a career in legal compliance and governance, and how has this journey evolved over 40 years?
Thank you. I hope this is not a rapid fire question. So, because it's 40 years and there cannot be rapid fire question for 40 years. Actually, I landed in legal and compliance by default, not by design. I joined Bank of India, and being ambitious, was not happy with the particularly remuneration I was getting, and ambitious about the business, doing business. And Bank of India was an easy entry, and I joined Bank of India and then started looking out for my other ideas to grow. And in that I met Yogesh Parekh, who was also a Bank of India employee and close friend, who introduced me to the stock market. Share market was that time I think index was around 600, and I attracted towards stock market because it was handsome paying that time, and I made a good money initially. So it was going on with the Bank of India and share market, and it was going smooth. Afternoon lunchtime was spent in the stock market, having the buffet type lunchtime, and then listening and learning the stock market trades. I made good money, as I mentioned, and this I thought that I will become sub broker sometime. But after 1 or 2 years of good success, I was cheated by my friend, not Yogesh Parekh, of course, but cheated by my friend, and I lost everything in the stock market. This forced me to take serious view on the job and education. So I moved to again learning, and I completed my banking qualification, CIIBs, and also LLB. Simultaneously, I completed company secretary, and I moved out of bank. In these tough years, my wife helped me financially to come out of that, and I came out with my saving done in the stock market. So from Bank of India, I became a company secretary, and I got opportunity to join Tata International as a legal and company secretary. Not main company secretary, but I was a divisional manager, legal and secretarial. So in Tata International was a really Midas touch, because I got opportunity to hone my skill on the legal and compliance, not only pan-India basis, but international subsidiaries also we were looking and monitoring the compliances. Tata, there is a good one story which I would like to share, and I was selected in Tata for Devas location, and I accepted it because I wanted the Tata brand in my CV. And at first 3 months, I was deputed to Mumbai location at Worli office because my immediate boss was on US tour for 2 months, and this time I was reporting to Executive Director Mr. Hoshi Malcolm, and that was a really I will say stroke of a luck that I was working him directly with him. He saw my passion for the work, and also he appreciated that I was completing my given task on the same day without looking at the watch. And this, within 45 days, I was able to complete 3 or 5 tough assignments with him. And he called me one day that, Atul, would you like to work in Mumbai? And that was really a great thing, one of the great thing in my life. And I continued in Bombay. At Tata, I learned ethics, governance, as well as legal litigations, fighting, defending, filing the litigations. I got opportunity to become number 1 in OTIS, where again I was involved in the secretarial and legal, and I became number 1. At OTIS, I handled many litigations, tax litigations, as well as crisis management on the particularly accidents. So it was excellence at OTIS. Every time now becoming number 1 was reporting to managing director. So at OTIS I learned detailing, because devil lies in the details, and that was a learning at OTIS. After OTIS I moved on to HDFC-Life, and at HDFC-Life I learned the scale, also compliances under the systems. We were managing almost more than 500 branches compliances. It was a huge scale actually. So I was exposed to that huge scale compliance on the system base, and it was perfectly going well. Let me tell you frankly, it's one of the best systems where the employees reporting themselves the non-compliances. That's like best actually, because one compliance officer cannot control complete company or all the officers. So that was the best part of it. Again, learning and interaction with the CFO and MD, I learned at HDFC 2 things: quality in everything what we do, and also speed to market. And after HDFC Life, I joined Godrej Agrovet as again legal head. Now Godrej Agrovet was really one of the finest period, professional period in my life, because in Godrej I resolved almost 17 old disputes which were pending for more than a decade. That was a record in itself actually. I have never achieved this kind of success in any company. After spending some time with Godrej Agrovet, I went to Schindler India as a General Counsel, Compliance Officer and Data Privacy Officer, and I continued there. At Schindler, I could excel my skills in the fraud detection, fraud investigation, data privacy. This is about the short journey in the legal and compliance.
Wow. Impressive journey, Atulji. So now let's continue the conversation. Can you share some insights into your governance philosophy, particularly around your mission to make compliance a routine in business?
So governance philosophy, there is no philosophy for the governance actually. The governance there has to be integrity in the governance. Okay, what is integrity in the governance is that we should accept if there are non-compliances. That is one. Secondly, in TEDx talks I have mentioned that ethics, which is a base of the governance. Any governance cannot be there unless there is a ethical, particularly compliance. So ethics is nothing but transparency, honesty and integrity in compliance and speak up. So if governance is required, we require all these three things in the particularly governance compliance. So here I would like to say that we should we should look at the larger picture and long-lasting picture, and that is how I propagate governance in the companies.
Wow. So now, being a board member at various companies, what value do you bring to governance and risk management?
Okay. So while joining the board position, before that, almost I took 2 years to refine my skills, which I have learned and experiences also. So I did my board training at IIMA SP Jain before taking the board position, and now this year also I done at ISB the refreshing class. The reason is that when I sit in the board, I should be able to deliver. Now I bring the experiences in the risk management, different topics. I was heading the merger and acquisition and divestiture in the OTIS, so that experience I bring to the board, and I ensure that the compliance and governance is not missed out. It is not only the token compliances, but it should be a compliances where industry can copy our compliances structure. So that is how I bring it to the board. Without the particularly, I am also mindful of particularly that I am a representative of the stakeholder at the board. So I try to discuss, deliberate, and support the board decisions in a proper manner.
Wow. So Atulji, you have been a role model of continuous learning. You have done various certifications, and you keep learning every as we before we started our coffee. You said you every year go on some certification. So first question, like you have done certification like CFE, MCI arbitration, CA, IIB, now this recent Oxford Artificial Intelligence program. So what inspired you for continuous learning, and how did it add value to your work areas?
So continuous, I mentioned in my TEDx talk that leadership starts with the L, and L stands for the learning continuously. So if you want to be leader, if you want to have a life in your particularly living, you need to have continuous learning. You need to remain relevant. So that is how I got the interest, and then definitely each learning will not 100% help you in your profession, but there can be fine touches which will be used in the profession which other person doesn't use. For example, if you are sitting in a senior position, you can add values when you have got some kind of certification, and certification which I took, they are from the reputed universities. So I don't go for the certification for the only creating certification. So I learned that actually by heart. You will surprised to know I also done certified financial planning also. So it doesn't help in the particularly company profession. But at the same time, when the question comes, I can also discuss the strategies for the retirement of the employees. So that is how I feel that continuous learning gives me a enjoyment and pleasure also.
Wow. Okay. Atulji, what has been your role in promoting data privacy and fraud prevention within the companies you have advised?
So I will take first data privacy. Data privacy, GDPR came into picture in May 2018, and I did immediately certification with EU GDPR on the data privacy on GDPR. And since last 6 years, I am regular, either speaking every 2 months or I am giving a consultation on data privacy to the industry. I have hold many sessions for the knowledge and awareness about the data privacy, because in India still rules are awaited for the compliance. But at the same time, people forget that in India today also there is a law, IT law, which covers the data privacy part. It is not full-fledged, but it covers the data privacy aspect. And courts have started taking the cognizance of the data privacy. Recently, the decision which is against one of the global conglomerate, which is based on the basis, the decision is by the competition commission, but base is the privacy. So I help the industries where I am on the board, as well as whenever somebody consult, I help them in the proper data privacy compliance. That is one. Now talking about the fraud prevention, I will take some more time because I did my certified fraud examiner similar time, and certified fraud examiner is a US certification which is a gold standard in the fraud detection and prevention. So in my stint as Schindler as a chief code of conduct, actually I became chief code of conduct officer in the particularly Schindler, and that was the trigger point for the this qualification. And I was only 2 persons were qualified in particularly for the whole group about on the Schindler group. Sorry. So how did it helps in my particularly fraud detection, prevention, because prevention is more important. So we used to follow 3 formula at Schindler. I can tell you that because it's a best practice and there is no harm in sharing the practice. 3 E's are educate, ensure and enforce. Now education, we were putting a 60% of time because then people are aware what is to comply. You will find that code of conduct policies of good number of company, I don't want to name, runs into 20 to 200 pages. By the time person start reading the policy, actually he forgets what he has studied by the end of the 200 page. Okay, so the idea is that make it simple, and I am really particularly happy and proud of the best practice at Schindler that they have only half page policy, 5 principles, so anybody can understand independently. So education was the first thing. In education, we were doing the personal trainings, in-person training, web training, and also we had a e-learning module also, where there was a e-learning and the employee has to undergo the test by which he has to pass or he or she has to pass or fail. In that, if they fail, they have to take test again, okay, by going through the video. This is about the training. Training is supported by a radar. Radar is taken once in a 6 months or once in a year for every employee, that does he or she has to report anything other than the what is training has happened or anything which they feel the suspicious something is there. So that is the radar. So this is third thing. I was also publishing every month newsletter of just half page where we will discuss industry case, we will discuss our if there is a case in the company without name of the employee, so that privacy is maintained. And also we were recognizing the people who were reporting, because the issue is again people should report on their own. We cannot go on the surveillance, we cannot have policing of the employees. Okay, so this is how education. Ensure is nothing but doing audits, and we were doing code of conduct audit. It is nothing, it is different from financial audits, so we were doing code of conduct audit also. And finally enforce. This is very important part which is followed strictly in the good companies. I will not say only MNC, but good companies of India also. What is the enforcement is that we have to terminate an employee if they found for defaulting the code of conduct, irrespective of the position, irrespective of the performance of that employee. And many times there is a pressure from the business side about probably performing employees, and we have to ensure that action happens, because that is a demonstration from the top about the seriousness about the code of conduct, ethical compliances.
Beautifully explained, Atulji. You have been a visiting faculty, speaker, a TEDx speaker. So, what inspired you to go into teaching, educating, and how has the experience been over the years?
So, actually, frankly speaking, my journey, I did not realize certain things in time. And that's why I am into that education where I can guide the people they should get. For example, to give you an example, that I was doing the banking qualification, I was doing LLB, I was doing CS, but nobody guided me to do CA qualification and or MBA also. MBA also was there that time. So nobody guided me, and it took 10 years to understand for me that if you want to be a business head, you should know finance. That's how I got to do, I completed my MBA at Vanala Bajaj at the age of 36, which was too late actually. So if I could have do it at 36 age, I can do the MBA at Bajaj. I can definitely Janal Bajaj. I can do definitely at any other university before that, and I could have achieved more. So this is how actually nobody guided me, and I went on trial and error basis. So I feel that people should be guided on the right time if they want a guidance, and that's how I got into the training mode, teaching mode, and now still, and I enjoy that counseling also. I take the pride actually. It is last 15 years I am into counseling, and almost 250 are the beneficiaries. So almost one or two people once in a month they connect with me for the career counseling as well as other guidance also.
Atul, you have been worked with different stakeholders across different industries. So, what advice would you give to young professionals for their career growth, and your strategies or your mantras, or what was your action plan, which have made you achieve so much in life?
So I will first say that they should plan for the 10 years. Then somebody connects with me and says that I want that starting salary 10 lakh rupees. Then I say that what you can do for the business, and they don't have answer. If you don't have answer, how you can get the 10 lakhs? So then I tell them that you start with 3 lakhs, but plan that in 5 years you will reach 30 lakhs. That is how you have to plan your career, number one. So they have to think 10 years hence, not 1 year or 2 years down the line. That's very important. Secondly, even if you have taken a qualification, people feel that I am qualified. Any qualification you take, like take doctor's qualification, take company secretary qualification, take chartered accountancy qualification. This is a Harvard rule that your qualification has got shelf life. And they say that it is olden rule is that 5 years. But I feel that now it is 2 to 3 years, your knowledge become your knowledge cross the expiry date. So you have to keep on learning so that you get updated what is going on, particularly in your field, so that you can update yourself. And you don't become redundant after 15 years when you don't have anything to do and company asks you to leave. There are many cases in India where the company asks the people to leave after 15 years of continuous right service because they become redundant. So I feel that the second is continuous learning. Third thing is that the hard work. There is no solution for the hard work, and initially you must do hard work so that when you come to cabin level, you must be able to tackle any kind of problem. And that is possible if you work hard first 5 years, every job. One of my rule was anybody calls me for anything. Not necessary I know, but I take that work into my fold. The reason is that my radar gets activated. I learn many things. And that I can use it in a future life. So that is how, these are the 3 mantras I will say.
Wow, beautiful, sir. So now, Atul ji, my last question: how has technology helped you in your career?
So technology started actually helping us about say 15 years back. It started. We were having the problem of legal database and the dependency on the persons. With different locations, persons are living without handover. That's a common thing. Retention of employees always problem 10 years back, today also. Okay. Now to that we got the first help in the technology that we created a legal database system where all information will be there on the company server and it cannot be deleted or edited by any person going out. So naturally we moved, that was the first stage in the legal tech, I will say in the legal I used. So legal database management system. So if anybody is leaving, we were ready because everything is there in the system and we know what is the date. Now the second problem, problem gets a solution by the technology. Second was missing any case on the ex parte. So there we use a legal discovery process by which we can get the information of any court, any case, wherever file or coming up for hearing, we get the pop-up so that we can address that case and we ensure that representation is there and there is no ex parte order. Wow. Then I will tell you that legal and compliance is getting actually complete changeover. Why I will tell you. Till 2001, our objectives were how many cases you have filed, and more cases you have filed, it means you are working more. That was up to 2000. from 2001 to 2010, the wind started shifting towards compliance. Sometime in 2008 or 9, it started that objective that how many cases you have closed. So that was the first starting point where compliance was getting more importance and not litigation. After 2000, I think I will say 13, 14 or maybe 15, it stopped actually. How many cases you have sorted out, how many less cases you have filed, and that shifted complete to compliance domain. So legal has merged into the compliance. Now nobody talks of how many cases you have filed. So this is what the change in the legal system, and then this geared up for the compliance under the system. Because again we wanted to shift from the personal based knowledge base. For example, key person leaves. How to carry that knowledge base on the compliances, and that's how we went to the tech system by which compliances are captured, only updation is pending. So third was legal and compliances. Now we were used to train, and I had a job of taking training for the 5,000 employees. Now when you go for the training, frankly speaking, if you are not legal and compliance, people are less attentive, less interested in that training. It's a fact. For example, somebody teaches me a medical session, I will be not interested because medical is not my subject. Okay. Now the question is that how to make them attentive. One. Number two, how to get the time. And there was a objective deadline that I have to complete 5,000 employees. So finally the solution was e-learning. What is e-learning is that video teaches you the policy, and at the end of video there will be 20 questions you have to answer. If you pass 80% questions, you are declared pass, otherwise you have to undergo again video, or you have to connect me with the compliance officer. So e-learning module has come. Now e-learning also, now last 5 or 7 years I will say, because of the generation G, because of the WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, etc., we don't have attention and we don't have time beyond 10 minutes. So that paved a way for the micro learning. What is micro learning is 5 minutes video, 5 questions. You pass it or fail it, you have to go again. And this became very popular as a micro e-learning. Now, after this now what is a current trend? Current trend actually I will tell you last thing in the legal, particular legal tech which I have used and I can talk about and I can answer any question is the whistleblower system. Now in whistleblower system, good number of companies have the policies, but let me tell you, out of them good number doesn't have any case for last 3 years. That means whether the policy is a token compliance or real compliance. So for that solution is the system-based whistleblower system, which is becoming prevalent in the overseas and now taking particularly interest in the public in the particularly listed companies in India also. There is system-based whistleblower compliance. System-based gives you 2-3 advantages. Number one is that it is anonymous. Number two, it is easy. You can do it from anywhere from India, anywhere on the mobile or your laptop system. Your name will be confidential. From the company side, when the complaint is received, it is bifurcated function-wise. So compliance officer need not do every investigation. So automatically it goes function-wise. Then there is a tracking that who is allocated that complaint. There is a tracking, and then also whistleblower gets the information what is happening with that particularly complaint. So this is how the legal tech is entered into legal and compliance, and also there are more when artificial intelligence makes particularly more noise.
Wow. So friends, let's go to the next round and understand Atul as a person. Tell us about your family and your formative growing years, Atulji.
So childhood, actually I will tell you that I was not having I was healthy but not having the good health. It means I was suffering constantly from cough and cold, and this led to actually going to a specialist doctor that time, those days, about 50 years back. Okay. So specialist doctor gave me about 12 injection dose, and it was a wrong treatment. And literally 7th and 8th I did not attend at the school because I was almost bedridden, and the parents were ready that I will go off anytime. My mother actually was hopeful, and because of her faith in the God, I am surviving today. Now those days actually we had there was no system of this reporting bad treatment and all. That is one. Secondly, we were not also financially sound to take the fight. I came out of that. From 10th onwards, my health improved because of the gym and yoga, and that's how life is going on in the particularly childhood ages.
Wow. Okay, Atul, do you have any hobbies or activities that you are passionate about outside of work?
Hobbies and particularly passions, yes, there are too many, but at the same time, as you know, that hobbies and passions are luxury for the middle class people. But still, now I am pursuing because now I have crossed the stage. Yes, hobbies, I will say that I like to watch movies, and every week there's a movie. Movie love is so much that my Villepara residence has adjacent to the theater, so that I can go anytime and watch movies. Nowadays, now we are on having the at home Netflix and all the channels, so it's really beautiful. So watching the movies, I like to do consultations sometime, as I said, that I do it on the weekends. I also like karaoke singing, then listening to Hindi songs. That's the passion outside the particularly profession.
Wow. So, Atul, how do you like to spend your weekends or time off?
See, weekend and time off, as I mentioned, that it goes with the movies, it goes with the catching up with the rest. Actually, time off is only on the weekends and not on the. We follow strict rule at home that Monday to Friday, no time off, and we complete our routine. Routine consists of walk 10,000 steps and then maybe stretches for 30 minutes. So weekend we catch up if some days are missed because of the professional engagements. That's how we spend the weekends. But let me tell you that I also have sometimes, I believe in this 7 days planning, so I do plan for the next week. I never had Monday blues in my life, and I will not have.
Perfect. Oh, beautiful. So, Atul, who's been a mentor or has made a significant influence in your personal and professional journey?
Okay. Personal journey, I will say I will start with the family members, and my mother gave me hopefulness and remaining happy in any kind of circumstances, and father gave me discipline and ethical commitments. After marriage, Pratibha took over, and Pratibha works as a accelerator as well as brake in my professional decisions. Brakes are also necessary to avoid accidents, and she helps me more than 100% in my professional journey. About my son gives me vision of Generation Z. So that is how I am relevant. You can talk to me any short form. I can tell you what is that long form of it, because the son is close to me and gets a Generation Z. On the professional teaching, I always particularly mention, and there are two gurus. One guru, when I shifted from Bank of India to private sector, one guru I met, and day one he told me, Atul, if there is answer is no, there is no need to come and tell me answer is no. You can go home directly. In business, there is nothing like no answer. And from that, I made my rule that there is nothing like no go. It is always no and go. So this is the first mantra which I follow that, and I never problem. Second guru I met, where I saw that actually, he taught me to think about the end result first, and then work backward on the journey to that end results. And this helped me in the life to achieve successes. Sometimes it was difficult, sometimes it was complex, but we managed the route because we knew what is the end results. So these are the two gurus actually I really have influence on my personal life and successes.
Beautiful. So, Atulji, what's one thing people would be surprised to learn about you?
Difficult to. Okay, if I have to say, I can say that those who know me from the childhood and those who were neighbors, they feel that a municipality Marathi medium student has rose to this level. This is one thing. And those who know very closely to me, they are very surprised that in 72, 73, a boy was going to die, and he is working for last 50 years with 15 hours a day.
Wow, beautiful. So now, which social cause you are passionate about?
I'm passionate about helping the particularly the children where they don't get support. I'm connected with Shirur Balkashram in Ville Parle, and we regularly support them financially. And I am really glad if anybody wants to come out for the advices and all, which is done, particular consultation is done free. Some help is required, also additional help is given. So that is how I am working for social cause. I participate in Tata Marathon. That is also one kind of particular social cause because the money goes to the particular charity. So I participate in Tata Marathon. So that is how wherever possible I do some sort of it. I am not saying completely into it, but yes, wherever opportunity is available, I do that. So work for the social cause. I love to work for social cause.
Beautiful, sir. So my last question: describe Atul in one line.
Atul is a person who will give you solution.
Beautiful. Now let's have some fun. The rapid fire.
Oh.
One book that changed your perspective.
7 Habits by Stephen Covey.
Wow. One word that best describes your work style.
Discipline.
Go to comfort food.
Pass.
Your favorite color.
White.
And apna favorite travel place.
Favorite travel place will be Mahabaleshwar.
You're a morning person or night owl?
Both, depending on the requirement.
Okay. Tea or coffee?
Tea.
Let's read. Your best movie?
Best movie are many actually, but if I have to tell you, I like Intern movie, which is interesting movie. Then there are many, as I said. Now recent movie, if I have to talk, today's no, I cannot go on, right? It is one line answer, no, I cannot go on.
The Intern movie, yes.
Intern movie is I like.
Yeah. Same age like you.
Yes.
How he
comes out
and helps Anne Hathaway.
Right.
Robert De Niro.
Right.
Wow. Perfect movie you took up. Robert De Niro is an excellent actor.
Yes.
His line of films are excellent.
Yes.
So friends, it was a lovely conversation. You did very well, sir, and you get to win this book.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And it's been autographed.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
So please do go through.
Yes.
And these all well-researched articles for technology that will help you. So friends, what a lovely conversation we had with Atul, a senior legal professional over 40 years of experience, having experience for sharing compliance, governance, risk management, data privacy, and how he's helping social causes, guiding youngsters, and then his continuous learning journey. So that it's very inspiring. Learning is very important. That adds value, and also learning. He is going and having speaker sessions. He's a TEDx speaker. So what he's receiving, he's giving back to society in his own ways. And so watch this episode. 40 years of journey in 1 hour. We have been able to cover and bring back, go back memories down the lane. So We have over 250 plus episodes in our YouTube channel, The Coffee Conversation Show. Do subscribe. You'll get to inspired by different subject experts. If you want to be featured as a guest speaker, we are on social media. We also have a website, theemergingindiaforum.com. Fill in the form, our team will connect with you, and we meet with another speaker or a cup of coffee. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Amirji. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity.